Okay, Mataji.
Okay, thank you. The son of Devaki, the supreme personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, cannot be satisfied by anyone's study of the Vedas, charity, sacrifice, pilgrimage, or vows, as much as he is satisfied by the devotional recitation of the Gita.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. This particular verse, which we read every day, is coming from Vaishnava Tantriya Sara. Okay, so we take blessings from our presiding deities of ISKCON Kuala Lumpur, Sri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani. So we offer prayers to the spiritual teachers. Om Jnanatimmirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chaksurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatavine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Everyone, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Tat Sat. So the last part, I will request you all to join me. The last part, yeah. So it's important to chant together. Okay. Of course, our obeisance to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Okay, Gita Mahatmya, also available. Anyone would like to read?
Maybe I'll just read the English version. Is that okay?
Yes, can. Raghu, thanks.
Okay. One may cleanse himself daily by taking a bath in water, but if one takes a bath even once in the sacred Ganges water of Bhagavad Gita, for him the dirt of material life is altogether vanquished.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. So we are starting with Gita Mahatmya. This is the most quoted Gita Mahatmya verse. So the glories of Mother Ganga is very, very well known. It's very famous. Everybody knows the glories of Mother Ganga, the significance. Okay, so how people throng to the wherever the locations are where Mother Ganga flow. Okay, so it's very famous among Indian or Hindus in general. Okay, and a lot of people, you have to pay. Of course, you have to fly to India. That's where Mother Ganga flows. And you have to pay so much of money to go there. But right now, we are bathing in the Ganges water of Bhagavad Gita, not once, for 18 days. Okay, so you can count how many hours. Sometimes we overshot, so there's extra hours as well. Okay, and especially when you are reciting the Gita, so can you imagine the benefit that you are getting? So this is why I want to share the fortune of reciting the Gita. So I don't want just me reciting it. Okay, all right. So what we left off yesterday, we did not do the recap for chapter 2. So it began with the indecisiveness of Arjuna. Indecision is the last reason of the 5, the 60 reasons. Okay, indecisiveness of Arjuna and surrender to Krishna. Before that, chapter 1, we saw how the enemies are observed, observing the armies, the chariot, the relatives, the compassion came over, took over Arjuna's emotional settings. Okay, and then we went on to see the symptoms that he exhibit, and then the sasdi. Okay, so the one bringing home point could be how Krishna actually patiently listened before he started speaking. Okay, all right. After that, we went to chapter 2. This is basically the summary of Bhagavad Gita. Okay, and Krishna started speaking when Arjuna asked him to instruct him. Okay, Shishyasteham Shadimam Prapannam. Okay, I'm your disciple now. Please instruct me. Okay, so because he is not able to decide whether to fight or not to fight, whether it's good to fight or it's bad to fight, he doesn't know. Okay, this is where Krishna started speaking important philosophies. So what was the important philosophy we covered yesterday? Did you all hear my question? Or did I speak too fast? What was the important philosophy Krishna started speaking yesterday in chapter 2? When Arjuna was lamenting about his relatives, his teachers. Yes, Atma Tattva, body and soul. So Sankhya Yoga, very good. Okay. Oops, sorry. Okay. Right? The body versus soul. Okay. And what else? Continue. Body destroys. Okay, body destroy, but soul moves on. What does it call? Body, soul change bodies. Very good. Reincarnation. What's other word? What are other words that you learned yesterday? Very good. You are getting the points of chapter 2. Transmigration. Very good. Rebirth. Super. Okay. Next, we learn some characteristics. Okay, hold on. Okay. Before we learn the characteristics, before that, first this 2.13 Dehi knows mean Yata Dehi. So you please keep your, you can open your Bhagavad Gita and keep with you. So I have given the verse number there, 2.13, which means the soul change body. Okay, before we went to the characteristic of the soul, we covered one important verse. Let me see if anybody has mentioned that. Okay, nobody yet. What else? Transmigration, yes, there's one important verse that we covered. What is body compared to? Yes, very good. 2.22. Yes, a sober person is not bewildered by such a change. So that is from 2.13. Okay, that is an application. And then we went to see that the body is a covering like a dress. So just like how we change dress, the soul also changes body. Okay, and then we went to the characteristics. Now you can throw in all the characteristics of the soul, whatever that will come to your mind. This, remember, the soul cannot be this, cannot be that. Okay, generally, yeah, it can't be destroyed by how, but the particular soul is very tiny. How tiny is that? It's close to the heart. Okay, that's right. Eternal, yes. Cannot be burned or dried. Yeah, these are the ones that I want. Hair strand, what does it mean by hair strand? Can be moistened by water or cannot be moistened by water? Invisible. Can we have more elaboration on the end of hair strand? Cannot be cut, unbreakable, insoluble. Divide by 100 and then another 100. Very good. Okay, what else? Did we cover everything? Who has Bhagavad Gita in your hand? Can you check the answers if everything is covered? I think there are still more. Yeah, not withered by wind. Not yet. Not 8.4 million years. Immovable. Yes, immovable is very good. This actually shows when you have heart transplant, you are actually not moving the heart, the soul. So no matter what storm hits your body, the soul doesn't jump out of the body. So that's another way of seeing it. Inconceivable. Right, why is it invisible? Why can't we see it? It's too small, yes. Everlasting, present, everywhere. Unchangeable, eternally the same, immutable. Okay, have we covered everything? Is there anybody checking on the Bhagavad Gita? Okay, so please let me know if there's anything missed. Yes, all covered. Thank you, Janani. Okay, characteristic of the soul. Okay, after that, somebody has already answered the next section of chapter 2, but now only we are coming to that. So after we were done with the soul, what was the next segment? What happened after that? Okay, Krishna has mentioned that, you don't see them as the body, you have to see them as a soul. After that, it's something got to do with the activity that Arjuna is supposed to perform. What was that? Okay, more, please elaborate. Somebody has already mentioned earlier. But please don't look up, okay? Only I can see. Right, Janani, detached from the fruits of the duties. Yes, yeah, we were entering karma yoga. Okay, there was a trailer. We saw the trailer of Karma Yoga. Can we have a little bit more elaboration on that? What do you all remember? Because now we're going to go into chapter 3. Chapter 3 is Karma Yoga. What does it mean? What Krishna is telling Arjuna to do? Do your prescribed duties. What is the prescribed duty of a Satriya? Do duty with the attachment. Very good. Attachment to what? Satriya's duty is to fight. Never be attached to not doing your duty. Very good. I like this. Okay, you are not the cause, nor do you reap the fruits. Very good. Okay, so there are 2 attachments that Krishna said that you should not do. One, Vimal Raj Prabhu already mentioned here, never be attached to not doing your duty. Another attachment is the outcome of the work. Attachment to body or the result of the work. Okay, very good. Super, all covered already. So you have the right to perform duties without expecting the fruits. All right. And then we entered Buddhi Yoga or Bhakti Yoga slightly. What verse is that? What Krishna was actually asking Arjuna to do. This is the linking verse to chapter 3. Anyone remember? Yes. What is it about? What Krishna asking Arjuna to do or not to do? Avoid what? What is that called? Avoid devotion at this service. So when you give answer, you have to put it in a proper sentence so we understand what you're saying. Surrender unto the Lord. Very good. Keep all abominable activities far by doing. Keep all abominable activities. Keep with you. Elaborate on that. Or you can unmute and speak, if you can't type fast. Avoid abominable activities. Okay, keep closer by doing, keep doing devotional service. Avoid attachment. Okay, the next month. Okay, avoid abominable activities by working for Krishna. So, what is the last segment? A person who is satisfied in devotional service is not affected by threefold miseries. These are very important things. We actually rushed through this segment yesterday. Let's see who remembers it. What are these threefold miseries? 8:34 already. Adi Daivika, what does it mean? Can we have the term and also the translation? What is Adi Daivika? Miseries caused by? Distress caused by material nature. Very good, Lavanya Mataji, Dasrada Prabhu, Sivaranjani Mataji. Next. Adhyatmika, distress caused by? Distress caused by pertaining to body and mind. Very good. Okay, good. Next, last one. Adi Bautika means what? What limitation, Mataji? Other living entities. Very good. Okay, very good. Okay, so we have covered chapter 2. So you remember this 2.49, yeah? Okay, so moving forward, Arjuna will keep asking clarification, just like when one time the teacher teach, we don't understand, we can't grasp it, or we start thinking, what does it mean like this? What does it mean like that? Krishna said, one time you are saying, don't attach to the duty. Then one time you are saying, do my duty without attaching to the result. Now you are saying, fight. And then you are saying, avoid abominable activities. Isn't killing abominable? So I am confused again, Krishna. So please tell me what to do. Okay, this is the opening of chapter 3. Okay. So before we move into chapter 3, we left one story yesterday. It's about Ambarisha Maharaj. Remember, a satisfied person, a person who engaged his entire senses in serving Krishna. So this is one great example from the Shastras, that this is a king. He engaged all his senses in Krishna's service. Okay, so we have Shyamala Mataji to narrate. You won't take long, just 5 minutes only, okay? So Mataji, over to
Thank you,
you.
Mataji. Hare Krishna. Okay, so this is a wonderful pastime of how you can work in God consciousness. So in the image, we can see the personality which is standing is Ambarish Maharaj, and you can see another personality falling at his feet. That is Durvasa Muni. So King Ambarish is a pure devotee of the Lord. He is a king who is the emperor of the entire world. He has lots of opulence. He possesses so much of wealth, but he was never attached to his wife, children, or kingdom. Instead, he was fully engaged in the devotional service of the Lord. How he's engaging in devotional service is by engaging all his senses in the service of the Lord. For instance, he used his mind to remember about the Lord, uses his eyes to see the deity, the form of the Lord, the nose to smell the scent of the flowers, incense that was offered to the Lord, ears to hear the glories of the Lord, hands to wash, clean the temple, legs to go to the temples of Lord, the body to serve and associate with the devotees of the Lord, mouth to speak the glories of the Lord, and using the tongue to taste the prasadam which was offered to the Lord. I need to go a bit fast, 5 minutes. Okay, so there's this one day, this day is known as Dwadasi. Dwadasi comes after the day of Ekadasi. Ekadasi is a day where all the devotees of Lord Vishnu will be fasting. So Dwadasi comes of the day after Ekadasi. Dwadasi is a day where the devotees will break their fast. They'll be given a specific time to break their fast so that their vow of fasting will be complete. So on this special day, there is a great sage which has great mystic powers. Durvasa Muni will come to visit King Ambarish. So when he come and visit King Ambarish, it is our culture to actually properly receive and serve our guests, especially a Brahmana. So similarly, King Ambarish will respectfully welcome Durvasa Muni in his palace, and he will invite Durvasa Muni to eat with him. So Durvasa Muni will be happy and gladly will agree to go and to eat with him, and he will say, let me go and take my bath at Yamuna river and I will come back to eat with you. So once Durvasa Muni has left to take his bath at Yamuna river, he will not come back very soon. King Ambarish, in the other hand, he is seeing that the time to break fast was passing. So he will ask his advisors, who are learned Brahmanas, what should I do? So the well-learned Brahmanas will advise him that you may take a little bit of water. It's considered as breaking fast and also not breaking fast. You can sip a bit of water. So Durvasa Muni, we know he has a great mystic power. He is also known for his great temper. From there, he already know that King Ambarish already break his fast without taking his permission. So he felt that is disrespectful. He got very angry. He immediately came and chastised King Ambarish. King Ambarish, with folded hands, he was just standing there without fighting back. He was just listening to all the words that thrown out by Durvasa Muni. Durvasa Muni still not satisfied. So he plucked a bunch of hair from his head, threw it on the floor, and because he's a powerful, he has powerful mystic powers, that had turned into a demon that's resembling blazing fire. So you can see in the image on the left side, there's a huge demon which is going to attack Ambarish Maharaj. Yeah, that's the demon. So immediately, the Supreme Lord, who knows that his devotee is in danger, he will release his Sudarshan Chakra to kill the demon. And once he arrives, he will immediately slash off the demon's head and the demon will be killed. Now the Sudarshan Chakra will be after our Durvasa Muni. So Durvasa Muni will be so frightened to see the Sudarshan Chakra. So you can see the Sudarshan Chakra is so big, and what do you call that? it's like a sun, right? It's actually very hot. As he get closer to Durvasa Muni, it's so hot he can't bear the heat. So he'll be running everywhere to hide. He will run to the oceans, in the caves. He'll hide in the cave, but still cannot. Then he will go to all the heavenly planets, and finally he'll arrive at Brahma Loka. There he will seek for Brahma's shelter, but Brahma itself will say, I myself is under the control of Lord Narayana. What can I do? I can't do anything. I can't protect you. So he'll be very disappointed. He'll go to Lord Shiva at Kailasa. There Lord Shiva also will say, there's nothing I can do to compete with the Supreme Lord's strength. I can't do anything to protect you. I'll advise you to go to Vaikunta and take shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu, to whom the weapon actually belonged to. Then Durvasa Muni will fall at the feet of Lord Narayana and ask for forgiveness. Here, Lord Vishnu will tell, I myself completely under the control of my devotees. So even if you have offended me, I will forgive you. But you have offended my devotee who is so dear to me. So I cannot. I am deeply hurt from your action. And he will advise, okay, Durvasa Muni, the only chance you have now is you go and ask forgiveness. And if my devotee forgives you, you will be relieved from this situation. So Durvasa Muni will go back to King Ambarish, fall at his feet and ask for forgiveness. King Ambarish, remaining in the same position without breaking his fast, stood in the same position with folded hands. When he hear Durvasa Muni asking for forgiveness, King Ambarish immediately forgave Durvasa Muni with great compassion and mercy. He will pray to Sudarshan Chakra to stop. Then only Sudarshan Chakra will not attack Durvasa Muni. So from this pastime, what we can see is, just by working for God, all the work that we're doing for the Lord, and depending on the Supreme Lord, God has promised us how he will protect us from all the dangers at all costs. So this is the pastime. Mataji.
Wonderful, Mataji, is so good. Your narration is so good. Thank you so much. Yeah, amazing, right? Yes. So our big thanks to Shamala Mataji. Okay, I just assigned her today. So far, she has prepared it and she spoke from her heart. Thank you again, Mataji. Okay, so Mataji was saying how King Ambarish has literally engaged all his senses in the service of the Lord, starting from his hands to, his words, like tongue, right? Words, by engaging words describing the glories of the Lord, tasting prasadam, okay? Hands in cleaning the temple of the Lord, the ears in hearing the pastime of the Lord, his eyes in seeing the form of the Lord, his body touching the body of the devotee, okay, or paying obeisance, his nostrils in smelling the flavor or the smell of the flowers offered to the Lord, okay, flower prasad. Okay, what else? His legs in traveling to the holy places, okay, where the temples are, Lord Vishnu's temples, his head in offering obeisances, his desires to fulfill the desires of the Lord. So all these qualifications has actually made him to be fit to be a pure devotee of the Lord. So the Lord protects such person, okay? So even if the Lord wants to forgive those, even the Lord would not want to forgive the offenders unless the devotee himself forgives, okay? So this is a very good lesson, okay, not to mess with the pure devotees, okay? All right, and so we were talking about controlling the senses. One powerful sense in our body is the tongue. All right, the way to control the tongue is one by eating. Everybody loves to eat. So one way to control our tongue is to eat only food offered to the Lord. Okay, so when you're going to eat the food offered to the Lord, it has to be, it's called sanctified food. It becomes sanctified after we offer to the Lord. So there are certain ways of preparing the food, certain kind of food that we prepare to offer to the Lord. So along the way, I can share some information. Okay, so many people will think what vegetarians eat. Okay, can you see this is just some of the vegetarian items? Okay, so if you come to our ISKCON temple, we will offer food like in hundreds of offerings, okay, hundreds of offerings. So we have plenty of varieties of food can be made vegetarian. Okay, all right, so moving on to another kind of food, the sandwich of Bhagavad Gita. So right now we are in the first segment, chapter 1 to 6. We are learning achieving bhakti through work. Okay, moving on fast. Today's topic is karma yoga. Before we move on, we want to know what is karma to you. What does karma mean to you? Or based on what you have learned or heard or understood. Can we have some answers? Every action has a reaction. Action, reaction. Action of a reaction. Action that gives reaction. Karma, duty. Yes. Your behavior is payback. Yes. Okay. Yes. Consequence to the actions. Yes. Okay. Yes. Very good. All of you are correct. Okay. So we can conclude that karma means action and reaction. So now we shall see what is beyond this action and reaction. We will see what Krishna says about it. Why it is called karma yoga. All right. So we are entering karma yoga. Okay. So like I mentioned before we ended the chapter 2 yesterday, Krishna gave a small opening, a small window by saying about karma yoga at the end. Okay, before that, Krishna gave Sankhya yoga, and then there was karma kanda. Okay, chapter 2 is the longest chapter in Bhagavad Gita, and we could not cover all the verses in level 1. Even in level 2, we will take 2 days to do that. Okay, 2 weeks. Even so, we would not cover all the verses. Okay, Janani, can you tell me how many verses are there in chapter 2? And then you also tell me how many verses in chapter 18. So I forgot which one is the longer, 2 or 18. Okay, so Krishna took us through Sankhya Yoga, and there will be Karma Kanda also, because that is where Krishna will refute Arjuna's reason for no enjoyment. Okay, so that one. And then he goes into Buddhi Yoga, and then karma yoga, buddhi yoga, and so on. But you will notice that, okay, if you have actually read the entire chapter 2, you will, towards the end, you will feel like it's a little unsystematic. Sankhya yoga suddenly becomes karma yoga, suddenly becomes buddhi yoga. It's like here and there. Okay, so moving forward from now on, from now on, Arjuna will ask question, and Krishna will give more Krishna will give information in a more organized outline. Okay, it will be more organized moving forward from here. Okay. Right, so chapter 18 is the longest, 78. Chapter 2 is 72. So that's really, really long. Okay. Okay, so there are 2 chapters on Karma Yoga, chapter 3 and chapter 5. So today we are in chapter 5. Now, Karma Yoga is actually desireless action. Okay, karma can be with desire. Your action can be with desire. But when you say karma yoga, it means chapter 343. Yeah, that's pretty long also. Yeah. So, so forgive me if I overshoot today also. Okay, right. Okay, so desireless actions. So when you have no desire for action, like it or not, there will be results. So what do you do with the result? You offer the results to God. Okay, you offer the results to God. So because why are you doing this? Because you do not have personal desire. Okay, when you do not have a personal desire, when you're just doing something out of your duty because it is required, okay, there is no attachment to the results. Therefore, that result is not binding you. There is no bondage. Basically, this is the goal of Karma Yoga. You do not want bondage. Why we do not want bondage? We want to know why we are learning this chapter. Why you do not want bondage? What is the impact of this bondage? Pushpa Mataji, why would you not want bondage in this world? Why?
Attachment can cause
yes, attachment, bondage. We don't want any of this. Why? This is yes. Okay, thank you, Mataji. Okay, we got the answer here.
okay.
Because the reaction make us be born again. We take rebirth. Best, very good, Lavanya Mataji and Kuhan Prabhu. Very fast answers, God. Okay, so this is the reason. The main thing that we are here is because we have done something in the past. This is why we are taking births again and again. So to break this cycle, we have to stop this bondage. How to stop bondage? It all depends on how our conscious is wired to the results. So this is why karma yoga comes in the picture. Okay, all right. So let's look at the different types of karma. Okay, so generally people know there is karma, there is bad karma, there is good karma. You do good things, you get good reaction. You do bad things, you get bad things. All right, so the bad one is called vikarma. Vikarma means work performed against scriptural directions, or in another word, sinful activities. Okay, vikarma. Okay, remember, yeah? All right, and then there is karma, normal things, like you do any work that will give you a subsequent reactions, any material activities. Okay, any material activities. You do charity, you get some benefit later on. Okay, if you have been very pious in your entire life, you will probably born in a better family or in higher planetary system, depending on the intensity of your pious credits or how much you have. And how long you're going to be in a better place all depends on the number of the quantity or the amount of the deposit that you have in your spiritual bank. Okay, and then there is something that even when you do it, you do not incur any reactions. That is called akarma. Akarma means zero reaction, and only devotional activities will not give you reaction. So it is equivalent to non-action. Okay, vikarma, karma, akarma. So we need to understand these three differences. Okay, so I want to ask, what is karma? Material activities. Okay, what is vikarma? Sinful activities. Akarma. Okay, very good, very good, very good. Akarma, no activities. Devotion. Actually, it's not no activity, it's no reaction. Devotion service, non-reaction activity. Very good. Okay, super. Okay, let's go on. Okay, karma yoga, where it's coming from, yeah? Yes, thank you, everyone. Karma yoga, okay, there are two types of karma, nishkama karma, sakama karma. So before that, you see what is karma. Karma root word is kru, means do, work. Okay, so in Bhagavad Gita, the word karma is used to denote all human activities, work activities. Okay, basically human activities. So there are karma, nishkama karma and sakama karma. This one, if we have the time, I can run through that. I'm not sure if there is a slide here because I was also looking at level 2, so I don't know where we covered this nishkama karma and sakama. Okay, sorry, got, I have the information. So nishkama karma means selfless or desireless action. Means you have to perform an action and you do not have a desire for the result or attachment to the result. That is called nishkama karma. Okay, means action performed without any expectation of fruits or result. Sakama karma is the total opposite. What could it be? What could it be? Maybe you can fill in the blanks. What is sakama karma? If nishkama karma means doing an activity without expecting fruits or result, what is sakama karma? I want some more answers. Okay, certain benefits. Okay, desire of action. What else? Okay, any other terms that you can think of? sakama karma. Nishkama is no expectation. Sakama karma, with the attachment, with the intention to get some gains, yes. So there is self-interest on the mind, all right, to act selfishly or with personal gain. So this is all sakama karma, with expectation. Okay, got it. All right, thank you so much. Now, remember the one verse we, towards the end of the hour, it's not end of chapter 2, it's end of our lesson yesterday, the Buddhi Yoga, where Krishna says, keep all abominable activities away. Can we have, who can read today? Vimal Raj Prabhu? Are you busy? Okay. Anyone would like to read this, please? Or did I assign already? I didn't assign yet. Anybody can volunteer. Shubha Mataji?
Sure. O Dhananjaya, keep all abominable activities far distant by devotional service, and in that consciousness surrender unto the Lord. Those who want to enjoy the fruits of their work are misers.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. So this is what we saw yesterday. Lord Krishna is establishing the superiority of Nishkama Karma. What is Nishkama Karma? We just did. What is Nishkama? Desireless action. Yes. Selfless also desire. Very good. Okay. Nishkama. Do without expectation. Very good. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. So Lord Krishna is establishing the superiority of Nishkama Karma over Karma Kanda here. Karma Kanda means activities that you perform to enjoy the fruits in a regulated manner as prescribed in Vedas, which means these Vedas, they are actually the handbook for mankind. Means those who have material goals, material aims, they can act or engage in material activities, but in a regulated manner, which means you can be a free citizen in Malaysia, subject to you follow certain rules and regulation. You cannot go and say, no, I will go and hit the traffic light. I will go without paying the toll, or I will just drive hitting everybody on the road. So that is abominable activity. That is activity that is not in line with the injunction of the Vedas. So that is the difference. You have your freedom to do things, but by following certain ways that the Vedas have prescribed. Okay, so again, Lord Krishna here is establishing, even though you are following, hold on, yeah. Okay, can you see the slide?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, I don't know why it moved just now. All right. So Krishna is saying, okay, yes, for some materialistic people, you can refer to Vedas because if you do certain things, you get your fruits, right? Even though they are enjoying regulatedly, yet above that is doing activity without expecting the fruit. That is even better. Okay, Nishkama Karma over Karma Kanda. Okay, now Arjuna is confused because Arjuna was thinking, okay, Krishna said I must keep the abominable activities in a far place. I should not go near it. Okay, and then I need to have the intelligence to renounce actions. But then he says me to fight, he asked me to fight. Now it seems contradictory. How can I do something when I should not do? When I should not engage in certain activities and still I have to go kill. So how does that work? Okay, hence the question in chapter 3. Okay, he'll ask two questions, I think 3.1 to 3.2. And this is where, this is touching on Bhakti Yoga already, okay? Okay, this is our quick recap. Now this is the opening. Okay, this is where he asks questions. So here Arjuna is calling Krishna with many names. Who did I assign this 3.1? Tulasi Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
Arjuna Umacha Jayasi Karmanaste Mada Mudir Janardana Tat Kim Karmani Gore Mam Niyo Jayasi Kesava. Translation: Arjuna said, "O Janardana, O Kesava, why do you want to engage me in this costly warfare? If you think that intelligence is better than fruitive work."
Okay, thank you, Mataji. So, number one, Arjuna is calling Krishna with many names, Janardana, Keshava. Okay, very nice. So here, Arjuna is asking clarification on Krishna's instruction in earlier chapter. First, Krishna said, you fight. And then he says, don't do abominable activities. So Arjuna was like, do you want me to fight or not? You know, like that. Okay, so Krishna is telling him, be materially inert, be materially inactive, but you have to be a yogi, so you have to fight. Okay, so you can do active service by being materially inactive. So how? Action in inaction, or inaction in action. How is it the same? How is it same? How is it same in this two situation? How can it be same? Or how do you balance it? All right. Both also you need senses. Okay. If you're going to subdue your senses, then how are you going to fight? Because you have to engage your senses. So either engage or withdraw. Choose one only. Okay. Yes. Okay. So this is how sometimes being spiritual or being religious is oftentimes misunderstood by inertia, inaction. Means you just sit there, retire to some mountains and rivers and caves and forests, just don't do anything. So this is often misunderstood like that. Okay, I'm going to give up my wife and children and my house, my duties, my responsibilities. I'm going to go somewhere and live a peaceful spiritual life, just dedicate my life to God. Okay, so this is a misconception. This is a misunderstanding. So here you can see this entire Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is telling Arjuna, do your action, do your action, do your action. He never said that give up all the action. Okay, so this is a misunderstanding, and people often take this this concept and withdraw themselves to a secluded place. Even some people, they can just retire to a secluded place and just sit and chant the holy name of Krishna. They don't want any distractions. But what happens is that when you prematurely retire yourself, means you have duties that are not fulfilled. You have responsibilities. Your prescribed duties are not done, and then you prematurely retire, or sometimes this is called escapism. You escape from the onslaught of this material life. You want to escape. This is why you use this as a reason to go away from your duties. So what happens is that if you're not trained in Krishna consciousness or your spiritual life, means you have not gone through the purificatory process, the gradual process, it is called immature renunciation. So what happens is that you will only get the cheap adoration from the innocent public. They will think, oh, look at him, so young, and he has renounced his life, and he can, be so disciplined, he can seclude himself, so detached, he can engage in some meditation activities like that. So like this, Arjuna also thought, instead of me fighting, right, let me just go escape to some secluded place, and I can just engage in Krishna consciousness. I don't need to fight or hurt anyone. This is what he thinks. Okay, but Krishna said, when you work, you put in your intelligence and then surrender the result. So this is Buddhi Yoga or Bhakti Yoga. Okay, so otherwise this retirement from active life, whatever penance or austerity in secluded place, it's going to make a person fall down at the slightest distraction. Okay, so basically what Arjuna is trying to do is that he wants to skillfully avoid the fighting by using Krishna consciousness as an excuse. Okay, so this is where Krishna comes and explain. All right, so if you see the application here is that here Arjuna represents us. Okay, first of all, we already got the information that we are the soul. Okay, so when we know we are the soul, what we tend to do, I must abandon all my material duties, give up my society, my family, my community. All right, and I must retire all my material activities because Krishna said material activities give reactions. So I am going to stop all that. Okay, and Krishna also said all these activities going to give me karma. So I'm going to stop all the activity that's going to give me karma. I am going to retire and I'm going to take sannyasa or go somewhere. All right, so this is wrong understanding. So like I mentioned yesterday, even when we are breathing, when you're sitting here, we don't know how many living entities going in and out, how many going in and dying. All right, but however, Arjuna being an intelligent and sincere student, he placed the matter before his master. Now the relationship has changed. So Krishna is his guru now. He's putting the question to him and questioning Krishna. All right, one important service that you do for your spiritual master is to put forth questions. Okay, so asking questions here is seen as a service. It is not to say, how dare you to question me? It's not like that. Okay, so later in chapter 4, tomorrow, we will see what are the few things that a disciple is supposed to do to get the mercy of the guru. Okay, so as a student, he is putting forth questions, and this is how Lord Krishna will elaborately explain. Okay, he will explain on karma yoga or work in Krishna consciousness, chapter 3 and chapter 5. Okay, so understand now, let me recap. Yeah, so at this point, Arjuna already got the intelligence that he is the soul. However, he's confused whether he should work or just remain without any activities, because he thinks that he is the soul and he wants to avoid karmic reactions. Okay. However, as a disciple, he's putting forth question to Krishna: what is beneficial for me? Why you still want me to engage in this ghastly warfare? You said I should work on the soul level, and then you are saying I should avoid abominable activities. So should I fight or should not fight? So like this in our spiritual life, we don't know what proper steps for us to take, what is good, what is not. We seek advice. And now we will, and then he will also continue to say that how he is confused. 3.2.
That be me.
Yes, Jai Mataji.
Okay. My intelligence is bewildered by your equivocal instructions. Therefore, please tell me decisively which will be most beneficial for me.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. So previously, whatever Krishna has said, it seems equivocal for Arjuna. Equivocal means it's open to more than one interpretation. It's very vague or it's not clear. So now Arjuna is helping us. Can you please be certain actually what should I do? A or B? What? A or B? I can't choose both answers. Okay, so it's like that. Is working better, doing the karma, or renunciation better? Don't do anything. Okay, of course, somebody already asked Nishkama Karma, but this is how Arjuna helps us to be more certain with the philosophy or the fact. Okay, the equivocal instruction is between what? Sankhya Yoga, body versus soul, and Buddhi Yoga, work in Krishna consciousness. Which one is it? Which one we should do? So, Krishna is answering here. Okay, so yeah, the application, yeah. So application here is that Arjuna is actually helping us to understand by clearing the path for all students who wants to seriously understand the mystery of the Bhagavad Gita. So a lot of time people, why people feel Bhagavad Gita is confusing. And then sometimes you see, during my early days, I don't know about you all, during my early days, I feel like Krishna is repeating information throughout the Bhagavad Gita. Why, yeah? Like that. Okay. So suddenly it's like this, suddenly it's like that, and repeated reading also cannot make me understand. So when you do systematic study, then you'll be able to understand. Of course, if you learn under a guru or nice teachers, then it will be very easy also. Okay, sometimes reading on our own, it will take long time, or sometimes we end up feeling more confused. Okay, so that is the application for us. We always have to see Arjuna is helping us to, Arjuna is helping to clear our path. All right, now the answer comes. Okay, we actually skipped 3.3. Can we have somebody to read 3.3, please? It's not on the slide. You have to read from your Bhagavad Gita. Anybody has it in your hand?
I can read it, Mataji.
Yes, Lavanya Mataji.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead says, O sinless Arjuna, I have already explained that there are two classes of men who try to realize the self. Some are inclined to understand it by empirical, philosophical speculation, and others by devotional service.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. So basically, Krishna is saying there are two kinds of people. One would like to understand like to obtain self-realization by going through knowledge, okay, jnana yoga, or by taking up devotional service. Okay, so that is text 3. And then we go to text 4. Text 4, Ram Prabhu.
Yes. Not by merely abstaining from work can one achieve freedom from reaction, nor by renunciation alone can one attain perfection.
Right, thank you, Prabhu. So like I mentioned earlier, this premature renunciation is basically discouraged by Krishna. Okay, so there are 2 points here. If you see, that is reaction and that is perfection. Okay, so let us digest this couple of lines here, yeah. So I will break this up. Okay, first we're going to talk about abstaining from work. So when you know that your work is going to give you reactions, you would want to stop the work. But Krishna is refuting the point here by saying, merely stopping your work will not give you freedom from reaction. Oh, really? Then what should we do? Maybe I should just, how about renunciation? Doesn't renunciation gives you perfection? No, by renunciation alone can one attain perfection. So renunciation does not give you perfection. Stopping work will not stop you from having reaction. Okay, simply because you just can't abstain from work. We can't do that. All right. So of course, the basic understanding is that karma means reaction. Anyway, abstaining from work does not give you perfection. Okay, even if you're sitting quietly, it's always running in your mind. What am I going to do after this? Where am I going to go after this? What am I going to do tomorrow? So activity is always working. So you cannot stop, because at least to maintain your body, you have to do things, right? Okay, next one is renunciation. We may go to Himalaya and settle down there, retire from all material activities. But what is the point when we abruptly leave everything and go and sit there? Suddenly your mind goes back to your house, your children, your community, your society. So that is not giving us the perfection. We are just not ready. So a person from born, when he becomes a student, and then the young adults phase, the adult phase, the old age. So you have lots of duties to perform. Okay, so you have to keep doing these duties given to you, because it will purify you and prepare you towards the actual renunciation. But if you stop halfway and renounce immaturely, so there is every tendency to fall down at the slightest distraction. So we are not purified yet. So to purify, this is the application, yeah. Okay, we are at the application here already. So to purify the hearts of materialistic people like us, okay, we are not great sages. All right, so we are doing our day-to-day jobs and we are performing our duties. So gradually doing these prescribed duties will purify the hearts. All right, okay, and we have to follow what is given in the scriptures. So what are the virtues or values that we need to follow? Okay, so we cannot immediately take the sannyasa order of life. We cannot be sannyasi. Okay, because those who became sannyasi, they are actually purified because they have gone through so many processes. They have been elevated to that level, so they are ready. But if we, with impure heart, we give up our prescribed activities, we are simply called karma sannyasa. Means we are just giving up the activities, but not in the mind. Okay, so we cannot remain inactive. So this is why Krishna is very clear here. Premature renunciation is discouraged. Inaction is unnatural. So point here is that we have to keep doing work. We have to keep moving. We have to keep doing our duties. Like yesterday I mentioned, even if we are sitting, we don't know how many ants or whatever creatures that we are stepping on. While we are walking to the temple, Mataji, I was just going to temple. What karma could I, possibly perform? You don't know how many animals you're killing when you're walking, when you're driving. You don't know. All right. So basically, we need to purify our existence based on the rules and regulation that is outlined for us. All right. So do your duties. Just surrender the results. Okay. Work without desiring for results. Work with desires. Even if you have desires, then you can fall back to what is the Veda saying. Okay, work with desires based on prescription in scriptures. You do not give up actions completely because premature renunciation carries no benefit. Okay, all right. So by satisfying one's desire in a religious way, even the attachment will be purified. Okay, I may be having money, I may be having laptop, maybe I'm driving. However, when I'm engaging in Krishna conscious service, then the usage is purified. So this is how we purify our existence. Okay, so we jump to text 8.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Madhuji.
Niyatam kuru karma tvam karma jyayo hya karmanaha sharira yatra pichate na prisiddheda karmanaha. Translation: perform your prescribed duty, for doing so is better than not working. One cannot even maintain one's physical body without work.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. So here Krishna is very clear. You can't maintain your body without work. You have to do your work. So do your duty based on your current commitment. Parents, go to work, take care of family. Students, study for your exam, do your assignments. Wife, you have your own duties. Children, study, you have your own duties. Okay, these are the duties. Okay, so Krishna says, Niyatam karma. Niyatam karma, do your work, prescribed duty is better than renunciation your action, better than being a karma sannyasa. So sannyasa may sound very glamour or very high sophisticated term, but Krishna doesn't encourage that. Krishna asks us to do work. Okay, if you don't do your work, you cannot maintain your body. Krishna is so practical. It's very relevant to us. All right. Okay. Okay, this is the point here. However, the fact remains the same. By performing actions, one may become bound up by those activities. So what should I do? This is the question here. All right, what should I do? This is what we should do. 3.9, Ram Prabhu.
Yes.
Yeah.
Work done as a sacrifice for Lord Vishnu has to be performed. Otherwise, work causes bondage in this material world. Therefore, O son of Kunti, perform your prescribed duties for his satisfaction, and in that way, you will always remain free from bondage.
Yes, thank you, Prabhu. So this is the answer. This is the solution. Whatever activity we are doing, the consciousness has to be set right. Even if you're going to work, even if you're studying, even whatever work that you're doing, conscious is, I am doing this as a sacrifice for the Yajnartha, for Lord Vishnu. Vishnu's another name is Yajna, Lord of Yajna. Okay, so we offer these prescribed duties or dharma to Lord Vishnu or Lord Krishna without desiring for result. So there is already karma yoga there. And there is also, this is actually karma yoga whereby your work, your material work, the result of your material work is surrendered to the Lord. So this is not yet devotional service, not yet. Okay, so later we will see what is the difference. All right, so this is karma, work. You are doing your work, but the results you are giving as a sacrifice to the Lord. You are sacrificing. Okay, right. So, so therefore, this liberation or the liberation or bondage is not determined by your action. Okay, but your consciousness. So this is important. This is why it's called Krishna consciousness or God consciousness. Okay, so the renunciation here is not renunciating your activities, but renouncing the fruits of the activities. Okay, you are not giving up the activities, but you're giving up the attachment to the result of your action. Otherwise, premature renunciation will lead to destruction in spiritual path, because you may have unfulfilled desires, and the slight remembrance of that will lead to your fall down. Okay, and that will lead to sinful actions and so on. Okay, so work has to be done as a sacrifice for Vishnu. That way you will remain free from bondage. So this is the answer. Okay, this is answer to or this is the methodology of karma yoga. Okay, you do your work, but the result you surrender. One, of course, you're not attached to the result, but you also can consciously sacrifice the result to the Lord. All right, okay, so we have some situations here. What picture is this? Today, I think the class will finish late, so those who are rushing, you can leave. Yeah, you can catch up on the recording. Okay, can we have some interactions? What picture is this? Knife in the hand of? Who could this person be? Killer, thief, yeah, he can be anything. Convict with a knife. What could he possibly do with a knife? Murder. Harm others, kill himself, kill others, inflict pain. And what will be the impact? What will he get? Let's say he's still alive. Huh? If it's not suicide, let's say he kills others or he robbed somebody at knife point. Bad karma, sent to jail. Yes, he will be punished. Jail sentence. Very good. So the item in question here is the knife. With this knife, when he inflict harm to others, he get punishment. Very good, everyone. Okay. Now we are going to see the knife in some other people's hand. Who is this? What is happening here? Okay, doctors, surgeons, they also holding knife. What do you think about that? Yes, Vimal Raj Prabhu, healthcare professional. Have you done surgeries? Prabhu is a doctor, I think. Helping saving life, yes. But they are also inflicting pain, no? Are they? They also cutting, cutting, slicing. So how is it different? What is the impact of them doing this? It is their duty. What else? No, under anesthesia. Okay, still it bleeds. Still the skin is torn. Purpose is different. Very good. So what do you get for that? What do they get for that? Blessings, good karma, saves life. Right, so what do they get is basically this. Reward. They may get reward like promotion or good paycheck or blessings, saving people life. These are all reward, salary, of course. Okay, so we give you another example, yeah. Okay, this one. Army. What do they have in their hand? Soldiers. Guns. What are the guns capable of? Okay, protecting, killing. Why killing? Army protecting the borders. Very good. They are killing. Bad. Is it bad? Is it bad? Killing? Not necessary. They're doing their duty, defending, protecting the people. All right? They are doing their duty. So, very good. These are army with guns. And what do they get? Save and protect others. Yes. For country. Reward. Very good. Reward. Now, another example. Who are these people? Okay. What are they up to? What are they doing? What is the implication? Taliban. Yeah. What are your comments on this picture? Right. Terrorists with guns. Both of them having guns in hand. They are killing innocent lives. Instill fear, terrorizing others for personal agenda. Yes. Very good. So they get punished. Now, okay, yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for the responses. So previously we saw the item was one, common item was knife. Here the common item is gun, but how they use it is different. Is it for self-interest or for the benefit of others? Okay, so is it a selfish intention or not? Okay, so we will not be, these pictures, right, these examples is showing that we are not bound by the reactions of this killing or cutting if you are doing for the right reason or with the right consciousness. Whereas if you do it with the ill intention or for selfish interest, let's say you go and rob somebody to get some money for drug or just money, or you punish people because they have done something in the past to you. Okay, so these are also gonna keep giving you reactions. Okay, so whether it's a doctor or the army, they are working according to the rules that the government has set. So the government will not put you in jail. Oh, you have cut this patient, you have to go to jail. Or you have killed this another country's army, you have to go to jail because you killed. No, the action can be killing or cutting, but why? For higher purpose, okay, for the right purpose, for dharma. Okay, so your action is not punished by the government. Okay, your work is not disturbed by working for the government. So similarly, Krishna or God is the head of the government in this entire universal affair. So he controls the material nature and he knows what to reward to whom. All right, the consciousness has to be right. So this is the application. So similarly, like I said, you could be taking your car to work, you could be using your money to buy things, you could be earning the money. You have to earn money to feed your family. So, but when you do it in a God conscious manner, then you do not get reactions. Okay, it will start with karma yoga. Later on, it will go into bhakti yoga, whereby the money that you are earning, you are giving spiritual knowledge to your children, or you're buying the groceries, cooking and offering the food to Krishna before you eat. So all this are purified. Okay, business, sir, is a very good question. In some cases, terrorists become government. Is our karma reaction. Okay, so Raghunath Prabhu's question is actually answered in Bhagavatam under the symptoms of Kali Yuga. So there, in that particular chapter, it is mentioned how we know the Kali Yuga is Mutipo running, all right? Meaning the terrorists becomes politicians. Okay, the terrorists become kings. These are other symptoms of Kali Yuga becoming mature. So that's one. Now Ganesha Prabhu's question, jobs like businessmen. So in business, I'm not sure whether in scripture or Prabhupada has mentioned that in business, telling some lies or understating profit or overstating cost unavoidable. You have to do this to get some business through. Okay, so I think it's very subjective. You still have to do this. So to avoid reactions, what we can do is you can send or donate the proceeds to spiritual activities. Okay, so you can do that. All right, because you know why? I was from loan background. And I used to do papers. I write papers, underwriting, right? So I have to recommend the loan to get the loan passed. I have to recommend the company. I have to paint a very nice picture of the company and give a nice prospect for the business. So I was doing this for a poultry business. So I was already a vegetarian that time. Okay, so I felt guilty, but that's my job. That's part of my job. So I have to do that. But later on, then another business came in where they transport cows for slaughtering. Then this one I really cannot. So I told my boss, I can't do this. Can you please pass it to somebody else? So I avoided doing that. Then later on, I left that loan job, the frontline job. I went to audit back office. Still, this kind of cases come to us, poultry business, things like that. But you have to do. All right. So I asked my spiritual master, Guru Maharaj, I'm still dealing with this. Even working in a bank, the money are not necessarily be from nice and virtuous channel, isn't it? You don't know where the money is coming from, but this is part of the job. So you have to do this. This is why purifying our existence is necessary. So my spiritual master said, in today's world, it's very difficult to do something totally pure. This is where you purify your existence by donating some amount to temple, or use that Lakshmi in Krishna conscious activities, like buy flowers to the temple, or you donate the money by itself, or there will be some festivals where you can donate. And recently we had all this flood, right, 2 years back, and we had mega cooking in the temple. So that time my Gita Gyan was pretty active, and I actually shared the information to my Gita Gyan students. And we were also doing these chapters, right? So a lot of people came forward to donate money, and those who can't, they come in and do the cutting and packing and distributing. So this is how we engage ourselves in purifying ourselves. All right, nothing is pure in this material world, that is for sure. And you still have to live, right? You still have to provide to your family. Okay, so we are done with this consciousness, tweaking the consciousness. So we are going into another segment called Karma Kanda. Karma Kanda means working with desires. Welcome, Prabhu. Working with desires based on prescription in scriptures. So this one I already explained. Now, how this Karma Kanda works is that this is an example. Okay. I need somebody to read text 10. Chapter 3, text 10, so that you understand the continuation. Anybody there to read?
Is this the one?
No, this is 14. I want text 10.
Oh, okay.
In the beginning of creation. Yes, Kritika Mataji.
In the beginning of creation, the Lord of all creatures sent forth generations of men and demigod, along with sacrifices for Vishnu, and blessed them by saying, "Be thou happy with this yajna," sacrifice, because its performance will bestow upon you everything desirable for living happily and achieving liberation.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. So, from the beginning of time, the human being was sent to this material world along with the cycle of sacrifice. Okay, how to do sacrifice in order to please the devas, so the devas can give us the necessary things for us to live. So this is called cycle of sacrifice. Okay, so what happens is that when human being, they perform sacrifices, means yagya. So this is we are talking about those like 1,000 million years ago. So when human being perform sacrifices, the devas will become pleased. For example, Lord Indra giving rain, Lord Vayu give nice breeze, or Lord Varuna giving water, sun god giving sunshine. So like this, there are so many devas giving us a lot of facilities for us to live. All right, and because of that, we get nice crops. Okay, And that crops are actually our food. We are consuming it and we are living. All right. So Krishna says the devas, pleased by the sacrifices, will also please you. This is in text 11. And this way, the cooperation between man and devas, prosperity will reign for all. So this is a harmonious situation. Cycle. You are not going to just keep taking from the material nature. You are also going to give it back. How you give it back? You burn the grains in the fire, and this is how you do the sacrifice to please the devas. All right. So when they are satisfied, they give us various necessities of life. All right. And in text 12, Krishna says, who enjoys such gifts without offering them to the demigods in return is certainly a thief. So we don't want to be a thief. We want to offer that to the devas. All right. So now we have somebody to read the 14.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Annat bhavanti bhutani parjanyat anasambhavah yakyat bhavati parjanyo yakya karma samudbhavah. Translation: all living bodies subsist on food grains which are produced from rains. Rains are produced by performance of yagya, and yagya is born of prescribed duties.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. So this is the cycle, yeah. So everybody will agree that our body subsists on food grains. Okay, food grains coming from crops. Crops grow because of the rain. Okay, all right. And to say thanks, we are supposed to do sacrifices, yagya. Okay, and the yagya is the prescribed duty. Okay, no food, we cannot live. All right, food coming from rains, performing yagya bring rain. Okay, all right. Okay, see sacrifice here. You please the Lord Indra gives you sufficient rain, and you get food, and then this is a cycle. It goes on and on and on. All right, this is cycle of sacrifice. Okay, so remember this term. Text 3.14 is about cycle of sacrifice. Okay, so there are various types of sacrifices that we can do. There are 5 types. Sacrifice for devas, of course, fire sacrifice. Sacrifice for the sages is by reading the scriptures that they have given to us. Okay, Bhagavad Gita was given to us by Veda Vyasa, written by Lord Ganesh. Srimad Bhagavatam was written by Veda Vyasa, and like this, there are so many sages written many scriptures. So how you perform your thanks to them? By reading the books. All right. For our ancestors, you do pinda. All right. The pinda, you doing the pinda. For humans, for each other, how you invite people to your house, you feed them. So this is sacrifice. And for animals, you feed them. This is another kind of sacrifice. 5 kinds of sacrifice. Okay. 5 types. Yeah. Devas, sages, ancestors, humans, and animals. Okay, so basically the Vedic culture that we are supposed to live is a culture of giving. Whatever result or whatever facility we are getting, we need to help people back. We have to give it back. Okay, so this is the obligation. We are obliged to give it back to them. Okay, all right. So this is our application. Yeah, so we have to do this kind of various sacrifices. However, we have a problem. We may not have sufficient money. We may not have sufficient time. We may not have the sufficient and pure items to be used in yagya. You may not have pure brahmanas reciting the mantras. Okay, so in those days, when they do yagya, only the very qualified brahmanas can come and recite, and the milk must be pure, the ghee must be pure, everything must be pure. But here, what happens to the milk? We get blood milk. We don't get really highly qualified brahmanas to do the mantras. Even if you have all that, if you're living in condo, how are you going to do the yagya? So it's going to trigger fire alarm, or it's going to disturb the neighbor. Okay, how? And then it's not very affordable sometimes for people to call up this kind of people and have the yagyas. So we can't do this. This is truly not practical in today's age. In the age of Kali, this kind of sacrifice like fire yagya or in elaborate manner, it is not feasible. Okay, it's not practical. We don't have facility, time, space, the money. We don't have that. So there is another way to do this sacrifice and please God directly. It is called Sankirtana Yagya. Sankirtana Yagya means singing the glories of the Lord, the chanting, whether on your own, in a group, or in a big group, loud or in public. So this is called Sankirtan. Okay, this is called sacrifice also. You don't really need money. You can chant anywhere. It's free. Okay, anybody can chant, and you don't have to have a very highly qualified brahmanas to do that. Okay, so this is the application. We cannot have all the facilities to do the yagyas. Okay, all right. So why this is relevant here is why Krishna is giving all this information to Arjuna is because of this verse. 3.21. That's nobody. Jai Mataji.
Yeah, sure. Whatever action a great man performs, common men follow. And whatever standards he sets by exemplary acts, all the world pursues.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. So
Thank
why
you.
Krishna is telling all this? Because he's telling Arjuna, Arjuna, don't run away. Or don't do anything nasty or rushed. Okay, because if you do this, you are seen as a very great personality. If you do this, then common people are gonna follow you. Okay, either they're gonna say that you flee the battlefield out of fear, or they're gonna think, or even great personality that Arjuna can actually give up his duty and flee the battlefield. So I also can do that. So it's gonna mislead people. So even if you do not have duty to perform like Krishna, he doesn't really have duty to perform, but he has to do certain things so that people who are looking up to him will follow his footsteps. Okay, why Lord Ram has to show an example? He's an exemplary son, exemplary brother, exemplary husband, so that people will follow his footsteps. If you show wrong example, then he's going to mislead people. So this verse, right, I like this verse very much because sometimes I feel so tempted to put this verse on office wall because a lot of people, they only say things, but they do not walk the talk. Yes or no? All right. So if you are a boss, if you are in a leader position, then you have to remember this. Okay. Whatever thing, whatever action great man does, common man will follow. Okay. All the world pursue. So this is how Arjuna is implying to Krishna is implying to Arjuna, don't run away, you know, because you're going to set bad example to people coming after you. All right. So if you're a spouse, you want to set a good example for your wife. If you're a father, you want to set a good example for your children. If you're a teacher, okay, it goes without saying, right? So we have to understand our rule and perform that duty. One, surrender the result. Number two, you have to set good example. Okay. So there are 4 kinds of dharma performed in 4 yugas. Okay, I think I will skip all this because we are really out of time. Since I already explained the yagya, we want to read this one, this verse here. In the age of Kali. Anyone?
In the age of Kali, intelligent persons perform congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead who constantly sings the names of Krishna. Although his complexion is not blackish, his Krishna himself is accompanied by his associates, servants, weapons, and confidential companions.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. So Krishna comes in different incarnation and different colors. So in Bhagavatam, it is predicted that Krishna will come down, but he will not look blackish. So this is Mahaprabhu in the middle. We actually offer prayers to Mahaprabhu in the beginning of our prayers. The Panchatantra mantra, remember? Mahaprabhu in the middle. On the left side is Nityananda Prabhu, the Balaram. Okay, so when he comes, he always comes with his servants and associates, companions. And when he came 500 years ago, he simply propagated the congregational chanting, the group chanting. And he said this is the best method for Kali Yuga, where everybody can do this without any difficulty. Okay, All right. So, and anybody familiar with Divya Prabandham? There is one verse. I think it's Namalvar's. He will have this verse by saying there is a prophecy. Okay, Namalvar appeared like many thousand years ago, way before Mahaprabhu's appearance. So he prophesied that in Kali Yuga, there will be a group of people singing on the road, singing the holy name. And it is mentioned that Karal Vannan followers. Karal Vannan means blue colored, blue hued Lord's devotees. He will say that. So the followers of blue hued Lord devotees will be filling the road, and they will be Adi Padi. He will say like that, singing and dancing. He will mention that. Okay. And he will say, by doing so, Yamaraj will not have work here. Okay. Something like Yamanukku ingu vela illai, something like that. He will say, so Yamaraj will not disturb the devotees of the Lord because they're constantly singing the holy name. Okay. If anybody's interested, you can PM me. I don't know where I have that verse. It's somewhere. I have the Tamil and also the translation. Okay, so it has been predicted many years ago, even before the Lord appeared as Mahaprabhu. So which means it is a fact that in Kali Yuga, nothing beats the Sankirtana Yagya. Okay, so that is the prescribed duties of mankind in Kali Yuga. Okay, so I will skip all this. You can read on your free time in the PDF, because later on I will be repeating this information as well. Okay, it's like basically it's about in Satya Yuga, what was the activity very prominent, in Treta Yuga, in Dwapara Yuga, and Kali Yuga. So basically I have actually skipped everything and I went here already. Okay, so if you have time, you will see what happened in Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga. So I hope you know there are 4 yugas. Okay, we are at the Kali Yuga now. Okay, so we will do the recap tomorrow. So this is for your homework. Please try to refresh tomorrow morning. Okay, I'm sorry taking the time. I think tomorrow should be shorter. Okay, so can we end the class by 3-time chanting Maha Mantra? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Thank you so much, Ganesha Prabhu, for leading. So we end the class here. Okay, if I have any questions, I will be here. Yes, see you tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you for the.
Thank you, Mataji.
Yes. Hare Krishna.